Everyone rejoice. The day has finally come. First of all, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Megan, also known as Knitted Shirt Crafts, here and on all my social platforms. And I have wonderful news today. Wonderful news. What is it? I finished. I finished 6 feet of this massive blanket. This blanket was made using the Big Book of Quick Knit Afghans, which is published by Leisure Art. I got it at my local big box craft store, and it's a book chock full of really nice, chunky, traditionalist styled Afghans. They're all quite easy. I've knit several of them at this point, and yeah, this is the second pattern in the book, which is called Traditional. Pretty straightforward. Most of them are. The other ones I've knit are called Alluring, Comfortable. They're those types of words. But yeah, I knit this Afghan, I knit this using 2 strands of worsted weight yarn held together. It's huge. I mean, it's so big. You can't even see how big it is. And I think, if I remember correctly, it's 5 feet across and 6 or 7 feet long. It's huge. I wouldn't have finished it any other way. I knit it using US size 15 needles, 2 strands of worsted held together. If I would have done it any other way, I would never have finished it. And story time, I almost didn't. This is actually my second run of this blanket. The first one I did was with size US 9 needles and 1 strand, and I got halfway through. It was going to be the same dimensions, but 200 stitches on the needles, oh my goodness, it was such a drag. I got halfway through, I put it down, and then I just couldn't pick it up again. And at a certain point I was like, what am I doing? And so I unraveled the whole thing. Yes, I know. I unraveled the whole thing and I started over, and I'm so glad that I did because now it's done. I would have never finished otherwise. Another funny story is that originally I wasn't going to knit it so long. It's one of those where they say knit in pattern until it reaches X amount of inches, and then you knit the border and then you bind off. But I decided to make it longer. I knit this as a gift for my partner, and he wanted it a little longer just to make sure he could cover himself with it, with the whole thing. So I actually ran out of yarn while I was knitting it, and I had to go and buy some more. It's not exactly the same color. The new color I got is a little bit duller, but because it's 2 strands held together, I don't think it's all too noticeable, and it's just for home use, so I decided that worse things could have happened. So, we're just gonna deal with it. I'm sure as it fades and stuff, the color will kind of meld together and you won't even be able to notice anymore. But yeah, the pattern is very simple. It's just knits and purls. It has a garter stitch border, and then the inside has this parallelogram motif. And the parallelograms are made using alternating stockinette and reverse stockinette, and that creates the pattern over the whole thing. Super easy. Very autopilot knit. I could just pop on the TV and just knit away. And yeah, it still took a long time, but I'm so glad that it's done, and I'm ready to move on to the next new bright and shiny thing. So yeah, not much else to say about this. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm really happy that I'm done with it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the process, but I'm so glad. I'm so glad I can move on now. And yeah, not much else to say. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your knitting week. That completes this week's video, and I hope to see you all next time.